Hi everyone, I'm Steve and this is the College Support Network. In the past, I've worked in high schools as a college advisor, and I also have experiences working in college financial aid, academic advising, as well as admissions. I'm really passionate about college access, and I know applying to college can be really confusing as well as really frustrating. That's why I'm here to provide you all with the most accurate and quality information so you can reach your college goals. For today's video, I'll be going over the general essay requirement for the coalition application. If you watched my last video about how to write the Common App essay, you'll find that the layout for this video is going to be pretty similar as well. Essentially, I'll walk you through every single coalition app essay prompt and answer 3 different things for you. The first is what question or questions is the prompt even asking? The second is how can you effectively answer the question or questions? And lastly, who is this question even for? Basically, who should choose this prompt? Before we start though, there's a couple different notes I want you to be aware of. The very first thing is, please remember that not every single private college that you apply to in the coalition app is going to require the general essay. On the general essay page within the coalition app, there's actually a space where you could see all the different colleges that you're applying to that actually require the general essay. So definitely make sure to check this out first before you start writing your essays, because sometimes none of the schools that you're applying to are going to require it. The second thing to remember is that I'm just going over the general essay prompts within the coalition app, so I'm not going over any other specific or unique writing requirements that some colleges may have for you. What this exactly means is a lot of colleges that you're applying to, maybe Stanford, Caltech, Pepperdine, whatever school it is, a lot of them will actually have a specific written requirement inside the application that you have to complete that's totally separate from the general essay that you have to write or may have to write. As I mentioned in my last video regarding the Common App essay, it's impossible for me to go over every single written requirement for every single college just because there's so many of them, right? So for today's video, just remember that I'm going over the general essay only. With that being said though, if you do want any specific help on any of the essays that you have to write for any of the schools that you're applying to, make sure to leave a comment down below or message me on Instagram. I'm available there pretty much every single day. If you have any questions at all, any concerns, anything that you want to talk about, feel free to comment down below or maybe just leave me a personal message on one of my College Support Network social media accounts. The next thing to know is that I have 2 other videos on my YouTube channel that could really help you write your college essays as well. One video provides you with general information about how to write some college essays similar to the ones that you'll see here in the coalition app, but it'll also help you with the UC PIQ questions, Common App essay questions, and even the CSU biographical questions for EOP. And then the second video is more about how to perfect your essay, how to edit it, and how to refine it before you submit it. So if you haven't watched those 2 videos yet, I do definitely recommend you all to take a look. And the last thing to know, and is probably the most important thing, is please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like I always say, it does help the channel out, but I think it'll help you out a lot as well. I'll be doing a lot of future videos regarding financial aid, scholarships, how to go to school for free, but also other things like how to prep for college and what to do after college applications. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please feel free to subscribe. With all that being said, let's get started. Alright y'all, the very first coalition app essay prompt is, tell a story from your life, describing an experience that either demonstrates your character or helped you shape it. I think this essay prompt is pretty broad and there's a lot of different ways that you could answer it, but for me there's 2 specific questions that really call out to me. The first is describe an experience that really puts your character on display, and then the second is describe an experience that really shaped your character. Regardless of the question or approach that you choose, to effectively answer this question, I really advise you all to take some time and think about an event or experience that was genuinely really influential and impactful in your life. So this isn't the time to just speak very generally and talk about a couple different events. You want to be as specific as possible and talk about a very specific experience that really shaped your character or just put your character on display. It doesn't really matter what it is as long as it was important and significant to you. Being specific also means being able to pinpoint a specific experience in your life that really helps you answer one of these 2 questions, right? And when you're thinking about the experience you want to talk about, I recommend answering these 3 questions. The first is, what thoughts and emotions did you have at that time? The second is, what important lessons or positive influences has it had on your life so far? And the third is, when you're writing about this experience, how can you be engaging and bring the story to life so the application reader knows exactly why this was important to you? Remember, when you're writing your essays, you don't want to just provide information and details. That's important, but you also want to paint a picture so whoever's reading your essay can really understand exactly what was going on at the time and why exactly it's important to you. For who I recommend to answer this essay prompt, honestly, any student that has a significant experience or event in their life and feel like they changed for the better because of it, this is going to be a great essay prompt for you. It's also a great prompt for students that have a personal characteristic or personal ambition that really developed over the years because of a specific event or experience in their life. Alright y'all, the second essay prompt is describe a time you made a meaningful contribution to others in which the greater good was your focus. Discuss the challenges and rewards of making your contribution. Essentially, this essay is asking you to talk about a time in your life where you helped someone or a group of people strictly for their own benefit. And this means that you didn't help them because you wanted favors in return or because you wanted to look good. And then the second question is discuss any obstacles that you faced and then any lessons that you learned along the way. To answer this prompt effectively, I really do think you need to try and find a balance between talking about yourself, because obviously this essay is about you, but then also talking about your contribution and why it was useful or beneficial to those that you helped. When writing this essay response, you really want to show the reader what's important to you and then also discuss what your values and beliefs are. I think it's really important for you to talk about something that was meaningful to you and then why exactly you even wanted to make that contribution at all. And to go off that a little bit more, you really do want to focus on that contribution. Some good questions to answer is what exactly was your contribution and why was it needed? The second is what would have happened if you didn't contribute at all or if you didn't help? And then what obstacles or challenges did you face? I think answering these three questions is really going to show the reader exactly what you did and then how exactly it benefited those around you. I really recommend this essay prompt for any student that has an experience that they're extremely proud of where they helped others around them. As always, this experience or contribution does not have to be super huge or crazy. It doesn't have to be at the national or state level. As long as it was something that's meaningful and important to you and you really felt like you helped others, that's all that really matters. So if you have that, I definitely recommend this one. The third essay prompt in the Coalition app is, has there been a time where you've had a long cherished or accepted belief challenge? How did you respond? And how did this challenge affect your beliefs? I think this essay prompt is pretty clear and straightforward. The question is just asking you to talk about a time where you had any of your values or beliefs challenged. However, I think the second portion or the second question of this essay prompt is a little bit more important. Basically, it's just asking you to talk about what actions you took and how it affected you as a person. To effectively answer this question, first and foremost, and I can't stress this enough, first and foremost, you want to be as transparent and honest as possible. This prompt is an opportunity for you to be vulnerable while sharing your ability to be flexible by considering other perspectives or ideas outside of your own. However, you still want to emphasize your ability to stand up for your own beliefs and ideas while also having an open mind. Whether this experience changed your values and beliefs or maybe they actually strengthened them, you still want to talk about the lessons that you learned and how it positively influenced the person you are today. Basically, how did this experience challenge who you are, what your beliefs are and what your values are, and how did you grow from it? There are two different types of students that I recommend to choose this essay prompt. The very first student is someone that has a strong passion or personal belief that was challenged, but they were able to stay strong and actually strengthen that belief or value. Conversely, I also recommend this essay prompt for a student that could talk about an experience in the past where they had a strong personal belief, but they were able to be flexible and consider other ideas and beliefs outside of their own, which actually helped them change for the better. Honestly, either option is a great idea if it fits your own experience, and also if you're able to talk about how you grew from this situation or experience. Okay y'all, the fourth essay prompt is, what is the hardest part about being a student now? And what is the best part? What advice would you give a younger sibling or friend, assuming they would actually listen to you? Honestly, I love reading responses for this essay prompt, and just like the very last question, it's pretty straightforward as well. Just like the prompt states, the main three questions are, what's the hardest part about being a student right now? What's the best part about being a student right now? And then the last question is, what advice would you give to a younger person who will eventually be in your shoes? To effectively answer this question, I really do think you need to focus on the now. I think it's really important to think about how you're currently feeling, what your current beliefs are, and what your current experiences are, and then determine how it affects your best and worst days as a student. Basically, think about the emotions, beliefs, and experiences you've had over the last couple of months, or maybe even a year, and then tie it back to how it affects the best and worst experiences you have as a student. And that's the important thing here, right? You really want to tie it back to yourself and you want to bring it back to yourself regardless of what information you provide. The goal of this essay prompt is to show application readers the exact values and beliefs that are important to you as a student, and then how exactly you want to help others in the future. And lastly, to effectively answer this question, you just want to be as specific as possible. So simply just saying the best part about being a student right now is because of technology, that's not going to be enough. Honestly, there's probably hundreds of thousands of students that are using the exact same answer. So you want it to be a little bit different, and you just want to be specific. Talk about what specific technologies are helping you right now, how they can benefit you in the future, and then exactly how you're taking advantage of them. I really recommend this essay prompt for students who are able to write reflectively. If you're a student that knows how to explore your thought processes and then be able to identify any current feelings, beliefs, and experiences that you have and relate it back to being a student, I think this essay prompt is going to be a good idea for you. And the very last Coalition App essay is submit an essay or topic of your choice. In the very last essay prompt, there's no key question that any student is expected to answer. You can literally write about anything that you want. There's really no limitations here. However, you really do want to focus on an essay prompt or a topic that's different from any of the other ones that were mentioned previously. To effectively answer this question well, I really recommend being as bold, unique, and creative as possible. Similar to essay prompt number 7 in the Common App, this essay question can really be high reward as well as high risk. It could be high risk because if you write about an essay topic or response that could have been used in any of the other 4 essay topics, it's going to show that you didn't even bother reading them and you just want it to be different. However, I also think it could be high reward because you're really putting your unique personality on display. And at the same time, you're showing your confidence to do something outside of the box and your ability to do something that's totally different from what's already mentioned. And although I'm emphasizing being bold, unique, and creative, honestly at the end of the day, you want to just choose something that's personally important and significant to you. Being different and unique just for the sake of uniqueness really isn't genuine. You want to have a response that's relevant to what your passions, beliefs, ideas, and interests are. I really recommend this essay prompt for students that want the freedom to express themselves in their own way. I think this essay prompt is good for students that want to be bold and creative while still sharing things about themselves that are going to be important for application readers to know. Please remember though that you really want to choose something that's going to be different from the other 4 essay responses. Alright y'all, that's all the content I have for today's video. Before I let you go though, I do have one simple question for you. Which of the Coalition App essays are most interesting to you and why? Leave your comments down below. Also, before I let you go, please remember that I do have other college essay videos on my YouTube channel, so if you're applying to any other colleges or you just want general information about how to write your college essays, feel free to check those out as well. And with that, that's all I have for today's video. You could have been doing anything else, but you spent to hear of me learning about college, and more specifically, the Coalition App essays. I think that's super awesome. As always, thumbs if you learned, and subs if you loved. Take care, y'all.